Well, we could talk about real estate, but let's talk song. Today I'm going to continue analyzing Benson Boone, the songs that I've listened to from his album American Heart so far. I really liked and enjoyed. I really enjoy listening to the man. I really think he brings something very, very useful to the pop landscape of 2025. So today I'm going to listen to Man and Me. I really want to learn more about the Benson Boone approach to songwriting, or the Benson Boone team approach to songwriting. So without further ado, let's get going. Let's find key first. What is that? It looks like an E flat minor chord. That's the major one, I think. So we have a Harry Styles type of chord progression with. I assume that they continue with. They do. So far we've got a 2 minor 5-1 jazz cadence in the key of D flat major. Okay, so actually it's a 2 minor 5-1 6 minor thing. Nothing revolutionary, nothing unexpected, but something that I would expect from Benson Boone. When you pull me in and you hold me close and you say all kinds of crazy things that make me want to stay in your arms. Very, very interesting verse. When you pull me in. And then I think they repeat the melodic idea. When you pull me in and you hold me close. And you hold me close. Because they also stay on the chord, okay? So they prolong the chord progression. It's now every chord for 2 bars. And you say you can't. The crazy things that make me want to stay in your arms. Interesting. So we've got short line, super long line. When you pull me in and you hold me close. Those are the 2 short lines, and now this gets answered by a super long third line. And you say all kinds of crazy things that make me want to stay in your arms. Right? In terms of rhyming pattern, nothing rhymes just yet. And then he finishes off the verse with "You're a charm, I'm in love." You're a charm. I'm in love. With 2 additional short lines. Now, "You're a charm" certainly rhymes with "that make me want to stay in your arms," and "love" kind of rhymes with "close." So we could say that we are talking about an XA BBA rhyming pattern, which is super strange, and which is something that the Benson Boone songwriting team likes doing. They like to hide intellectual Easter eggs in a pop surrounding, so that it is still accessible for the average pop listener, because people don't normally analyze this, but at the same time they have got something for the nerds, for me, to indulge in. Super interesting. As I said, chord progression the same as in the intro, but with double the length of the chords. But you don't care when I'm falling down, slowly burning out. Second half of the verse with a tiny transitional melodic thing. But you don't care when I'm falling down. And then ba-da-da-dum-bum. This is already something familiar that now repeats, as we would expect. Slowly burning out. And the lights and crowds and cameras in my face are getting louder, and they stick to the pattern, which is something very professional and very good. So second verse is "but you don't care when I'm falling down" with this transitional melody thingy. slowly burning out. So in that case, they actually establish an AA rhyme at the beginning that they didn't have in verse number 1, but in terms of metric rhythm, it's still the same. And then we've got the super long line, and the lights and crowds and cameras and my bass are getting louder, and I need some time. So again, establishing this BB thing, and he ends with you say why. So this rhyming pattern is a bit different. It's now an AABB, sorry? Yes, AABBB rhyming pattern, okay? So making it a bit more accessible than number 1, but keeping the idea of that short, short, super long, short, short lines. Really interesting.
You say why don't you see this lately?
Again, transitional melody, very, very similar to the transitional melody between the two verses. So when we had this...
But you don't care when
Right, but you don't care now becomes don't you see.
don't you see this lately?
Okay?
I can't breathe inside this cage.
Okay, so this is definitely pre-chorus. Same chords as the verse, but very, very different in terms of melody. Suddenly, so when the verse was kind of very wordy, and we've got this da-da-ba-dum-bum with a lot of eighth notes in the metric rhythm, now we have very long and dramatic lines that start with lately.
Don't you see this lately?
Okay, is it that?
Don't you see this lately? I've been fading. I can't breathe inside this cage.
Gauge, right? So, lately, creating very interesting juice on that E flat minor chord, because they now introduce the 9 in the melody. So that F is very prominent, although it's not a chord note. Very, very cool. As I said, same chords, very contrasting melody. Let's see what's next. Maybe a very, very strong and hooky chorus.
You took the man in me. You took his sanity.
Certainly chorus material. So, you took the man in me, you took his sanity, you stole the last of any light inside his eyes. So not only do they have this not alliteration but repeating whole words, like you took the man in me, you took his sanity, and you stole the last of any light inside his eyes, but also he really knows how to combine words that fit well together. You stole the last of any light inside his eyes are very interesting internal rhymes that makes the words flow well. Let's look at melody, because chords are still that 2 minor, 5, 1, 6 minor progression.
You took the man.
Ba-da-da-da. Is it that? Ba-ba-boom. 3-note melody, super small range. This is the initial idea. Right? I think he repeats that.
You took his sanity.
With a different last note. Right? So adding that C as a new thing.
You stole the last of any light inside his eyes.
Okay.
You stole.
something like this, but really an melody spanning an octave, right? More than an octave, a 9 actually. Really, really dramatic, and something that a chorus requires.
You really made me bleed.
I know it's not songwriting, but it's still something very cool that the drums would only start in the second half of the chorus, adding another punch, literal punch. Same melodic lines, right?
You really made me bleed. Blood on these ivory keys.
You really make me bleed, blood on these ivory keys. This is very, very weird.
The man in me. Where is the man in me?
Okay, and so this was, you took the man in me, where is the man in me is kind of the afterthought of the chorus, reducing the chord progression to and ending on that dominant chord, leaving it unresolved. And I think they don't really resolve it because they go back to the 2 minor chord, which is the first chord of the verse progression. Let's listen to this. No resolution.
Unbelievable, unforgettable.
And then we start with the 2 minor chord again. So one could say prosodic in that there is a question, where is the man in me? But the answer is definitely not in the chords because they don't resolve.
Unbelievable, unforgivable.
Another thing that Benson Boone likes doing, playing with words that kind of sound similar. Mystical, magical, unbelievable, unforgivable.
How you promised me the world, and when I turned around, you ripped it away.
That's really, it's this syllable challenge. I've counted 22. Might also be 18, but it's definitely a bunch. I think it might be the record for a syllable challenge. I don't think that we have had an 18 syllable challenge. If you remember some other challenges that we've had that may have crossed the 18 syllable mark, then let me know in the comments.
How you promised me the world, and when I turned around, you ripped it away.
Ripped it away is also another very singable thing, right? Ripped it away. It's flowy.
Everything was a game,
Tiny melodic variation with this one game.
and you don't need.
Second verse, half the length of verse number 1. Something that's very useful if you want to get to the point quicker. Shorten your second verse so that people get to the thing that they enjoyed the most, which is hopefully the chorus.
Any sympathy, any more energy.
Sorry, he doesn't do it. He actually has double length or actual length.
And you don't need any sympathy.
So what I expected was, and you don't need a, which was the pre-chorus. Could he have gotten to the point quicker? I don't know if the words that now come in the second verse half are very important.
Ever had better reasons for leaving something so displeasing? Even the sweetest words, they were treason, cause you just let.
Okay, I take everything back. This is the strongest verse. Because, remember the 18 syllable challenge and how I said that this was record? I don't know how many syllables we've got now, but he turned it into a rap, which is really good. And you don't need any sympathy, any more energy. And then he does, nor have I ever had better reasons for leaving something so displeasing. Even the sweetest words, they were treason, 'cause you just lied to my face. That's really good. That's, I think, on the level of Ed Sheeran songwriting.
Reasons for leaving something so displeasing. Even the sweetest words, they were treason, cause you just lied to my face.
And again, let's say dressed up in the pop environment so that it doesn't come across as intellectual proggy music, but is just intelligent pop music. Very, very good. I like.
You took the man.
no pre-chorus at all. So this is another way to speed up things. If you've got that strong killer booster line that is, I don't know, 50 or more syllables, then maybe you don't need the pre-chorus number 2, but just go to chorus instantly.
You took the man in me.
Also, maybe you remember the 2025 pre-chorus drop where there is no music at all. The music literally stops playing, leaving space for a pickup melody in the voice, in the vocals, making the chorus punch in really hard. Listen to this.
You took the man in me.
This is the 2025 pre-chorus drop.
You really made me bleed. Blood on these ivory keys.
I'm not sure I like "you really make me bleed blood on these ivory keys. You killed the only part of me I ever liked." It's so unnecessarily dark. I believe that now we enter a new chord progression. So I believe that now we kind of resolved that 5 chord, the question. Okay, they keep the chord progression, they just start on another chord. They start on the 3rd chord, which was the 1 chord. So the progression that once was 2 minor 5, 1 6 minor, now becomes 1 6 minor 2 minor 5. Making this kind of, how do they call it? Is it the doo-wop progression? So 1 6 minor 4 5 normally, but here with the 2 minor reharm option for the 5. Right, so it's a very 50s. You know what I'm talking about. I think they call it doo-wop progression if it's the 1 6 minor 4 5, and this is a variation of it. Same chord material, different, not even different order, but different beginning. So starting on this smack in the middle thing, and then they resolve it. What he sings is ad-lib of the lines. Where's that man? Where is he? Yes, that man you stole from me. Is it ad-lib? No, it's actually introducing a new hook, right? That is certainly a very important secondary hook. Even harmonized. I think the background is, in the background someone says, I don't get it. Let's simulate it an octave down. But I think actually somebody says weird falsettos thing. And back to a broken down chorus. Very conventional song structure in that regard. You stole the last of any light inside. Oh, tempo. It literally gets slower. Interesting. Adding this passing note in the bass, this C. Nothing is resolved. And he lets go of the sustain pedal, stands up and leaves the room. As he should. No, please stay. This was Man and Me by Benson Boone, and I'm sure we can take away valuable songwriting learnings. Songwriting learning number 1 is about creating tiny transitional melodic phrases to lead from one section to the other. And I think here I keep saying the team, but the team is Benson Boone, Jack LaFrance, and Jason Avigan. So those three guys, they know about the importance of those tiny transitional melodic phrases. Listen to this here.
But you don't care when I'm falling down.
Right? This, but you don't care when I'm falling down. And they've got something very, very similar when they go to the pre-chorus.
Don't you see this?
Don't you see that lately? And also, actually, the beginning of this pickup chorus thing.
You took the man.
So all very, very similar. If we want to say, or if we want to criticize this, we could say that all sections start before the downbeat, making them kind of similar. But I wouldn't agree here, because the contrast within the melody lines, they come from speed of the words, certainly, melodic range, and also number of syllables that we've talked a lot about. So in that case, I would say that they just know about the importance of linking the sections nicely together, which is why they chose this tiny melodic trick to transition from one phrase to the other, something that you should also consider when writing songs. Songwriting learning number 2 is about song structure and getting rid of things in order to speed things up and get to the point quicker. What Benson Boone did is that he completely crossed out pre-chorus number 2. I thought that he had crossed out verse or second verse half number 2, which luckily he didn't, because there we had this booster verse with this Ed Sheeran type of right? You know what I'm talking about. But then they knew, okay, we took our time with verse number 2, why don't we directly go into the chorus? So in order to get to the point quicker, it's a good idea to just cut out sections the second time around if you want to please your audience. And songwriting learning number 3 is about taking your cliche-ish chord progression, like this 2 minor, 5, 1, 6 minor, and making it start on another chord, right? For the bridge, the team chose to start on the 1, thereby making this doo-woppy thing, 1, 6 minor, 2 minor, 5. Certainly something that creates a lot of contrast without adding harmonic complexity. So it's still a 4-chord song, but it's not a 1-chord progression song. That's very important to make this differentiation here. So you can have a variety of chord progressions with only 4 chords, something that has the ability and potential to create contrast, for example, with a primary bridge. And this was my reaction and on-the-fly analysis of Man and Me by Benson Boone, track number 3 of his album American Heart, which I'm going to continue listening to. If you liked my reaction to it, please make sure to give me the thumbs up, to subscribe to the Let's Talk Song channel, to let me know in the comments whether you think it's a good idea to analyze the album fully. I think I will do it anyway. Please also take a look at the almost but not quite complete guide to songwriting, link in description if you want to get better at writing songs yourselves. I guess we've talked song you can talk about real estate now. Bye bye.